Hello everyone, today I'm going to be clearing the Dark Visions event number 3, the third one. So they gave us a few new updates for this event, one of which is the load and save feature. So you can now pre-build your team before you face off Dark Visions, a few weeks ahead or even just a week ahead. Aside from that, they changed one of the point system. Instead of giving you a penalty for doing it in the number of turns, it now changes to number of effective attacks, which I think means just dealing elemental weakness, which you will be doing anyway because you're bringing mostly DPS. So let's go to the first area. This first boss is a weak to physical, weak to fire, and is undead. So I'm bringing Odin Regan because he's an undead killer and because he also has fire imbue and one of the best DPS. So I've given him a lot of attack and undead killer. Carton is going to be chaining his AR frames for the chaining points. Cloud is going to be finishing using his LB. So I'm giving him undead killer and a lot of LB items. Mastermind Zons is going to be my provoke tank and also going to be distributing the imbues and the killer buffs from War Hero Regan. War Hero Regan also has undead killer buff. Vanille is going to be my breaker, and she has Water Arrow on, which is in 80 frames, so that I can deal with the missions. And CG Charlotte, she's going to be tanking, magic covering all of the fire, so not fire, ice attacks. So she has 120%. I think I'm just going to put Rainbow Robe just for safety measure. Yeah, 150 should be enough. So area 1 is like the easiest, obviously the easiest one of all the three areas. You only need to worry about all of the elemental attacks and dodge provoke. So there's no like non-elemental attacks you should be worrying about. Okay, so I think if War Hero Regan starts using abilities on this Dark Shadow, is gonna kill. So I'm just going to double Battle Blade, Flaming Edge, and the one that gives killers. Oh no, this one. So I'm just gonna target this to Mastermind Zon, so that I don't accidentally just kill the boss. Okay, I'm gonna do this on turn 4 so that Regan unlocks his 120% fire imperil. So Karin will defend, Cloud will defend, Vanille will defend, and Charlotte will use her magic cover. And Zon will also defend. I'm gonna share his buffs on turn 2. Okay, now Zon is going to mirror everything. So his triple cast, critical mirror, and elemental mirror on Regan, and projected mirror to everyone. Regan will use his cooldown to give some attack buff. And everyone is going to defend like usual. One final turn to defend. Oh, I think Cloud actually has a cooldown that he can use for his increased LB. Oh well. Okay, so now Cloud will probably use his LB. Regan is going to triple cast his Azure Flame Edge with his Octostrike Blade. Same goes for Zon. Triple cast his 80 frames to chain with Regan. Vanille will use her breaks using his cooldown. Carton will use his cooldown to chain AR, and Charlotte will use her AR frames. So I'm going to start chaining Regan and Zon first, and then immediately these two, and then finally Cloud. So they should be in an easy full damage. Oh, I guess I didn't actually use vanilla to change 80 frames. Okay, I got a C for some reason. 97,000. Wait, I thought wave 1, I mean area 1 is supposed to be like 80,000. And that's not even full points, so I don't know why that's not even full points. Maybe because I did on turn 4. I know it's a bug, they probably fixed it. So let's go on to the second area. I mean the second. Okay, so now we're at the second fight, which is an aquatic boss that's weak to dark and magic. So I'm bringing Swanwu as my main DPS with a lot of spirit and Aquan Killer, as well as some holy resist for all of the holy attacks. Ellie is going to be using her LB to damage, so I've given her LB damage and Aquan Killer. Dark Knight Lunif is going to be using his LB to give himself Aquan Killer that's going to get mirrored by Zon, as well as Tidal Waves for Flood Frames. Agent Olive is going to be using her Imbue to everyone for Dark and also Imperil, so her gear is irrelevant aside from the Holy Resist. Mastermind Zon is going to be my Provoke tank and mirroring all of the buffs from everyone. And Emperor Fu is going to be giving everyone Holy Resist and using his Magnus ability to give everyone, especially Dark Knight Lunaf LB. So I need to refill this and get on with the fight. So it's a dual boss, so it's quite easy for the damage capping. So Swanwu is going to use their cooldown to give themselves triple cast. Eddie is going to defend, and Danamune is going to defend. Emperor Fu will use his cooldown, which gives everyone holy resist. Mastermind Zon is going to defend also for now, and Asian Olive can start using her triple cast to imbue herself with dark, and use her Dark Imperil. Okay, Zon is actually going to just reflect the element from Agent Olive. And now I can defend. Now Emperor Fu is going to use his Magnus to give everyone LB. So I can use Dark Lunar's LB to give himself Aquan Killer. Mastermind Zon will reflect the critical mirror on Dark Knight Lunaf. And spread it to everyone. Ellie is now going to use her cooldowns to give herself Mag boost and LB damage. Okay, I accidentally killed one by accident, but I think I can still get the the max training cap from these two. Okay, Asian Olive will defend. One was going to defend. Okay, now Zhuanwu is going to triple cast their Magnus with this single target BS frames. Dark Knight Lunaf is going to flood frames with Emperor Fu. Ellie is going to use her LB. Zon is going to triple cast his Bolting Strike frames. And also with Asian Olive. So going to start Ellie's LB first since it's a pretty long animation. Gonna chain the flat frames and then chain these three. So I should get max damage, no problem since it's the first area. So the point system is pretty buggy at the moment. As you can see, I'm gonna get like 98,000 points when I should be getting 80,000. That's supposed to be the full points for the first area. And also I got a C even though I got S plus for everything. So I hope they fix this as soon as possible because it looks like everyone's points has been really buggy. So now off to the third fight. For this third fight, it's a stone boss that's weak to thunder and physical, so I'm bringing Odin Regan as usual, filled with a lot of stone killer. CG Jake is gonna be using his cooldown to give everyone stone killer buff, and I've given him Leviathan so that he can flood frames chain. Cloud, as usual, he's going to be finishing. Mastermind Zon is going to be provoking and giving the buffs to everyone. 2B is going to be my breaker and chaining her 80 frames. And Lightning is going to be my magic tank and also going to be using her Imperil. Also, I've given her Leviathan. Jake has Black Dragon, so these two can chain their flood frames. Okay, with Stone and Thunder. So Regan is now going to use his cooldown. CG Jake is going to dual cast his cooldown that gives Stone Killer buff and also Electro Assault for the imbue. Cloud is going to use his throttle. Mastermind Zon is going to triple cast Elemental Mirror and Critical Mirror on Jake and project it to everyone. 2B is going to use her cooldown to break, and Lightning is going to use her cooldown to imperil and cover. Now Cloud will use her LB, Jake will use Cursed Current for flood frames, Lightning will use Violent Current for flood frames, 2B will use the Void Tag to 80 chain, and Regan and Zon is going to triple cast their 80 frames. So I'm going to start chaining with Jake and Lightning first, then send up Cloud, and then these two. Okay, so the third fight, the point system is still buggy, but we pretty much cleared all of them. We got 4 points. Now for the fourth fight, we're at the fourth battle now, which is a beast boss that's weak to fire and magic. So I'm using Swan Wu, who has an 8 beast killer and one of my best mages as usual, with a Lost Spirit and Beast Killer. Ellie is going to be using her LB to finish as usual, with Demon Horn for the Beast Killer as well and LB damage. Charlotte is going to be chaining her AR for the chaining points. I've also given her 10,000 needles, which she'll be casting on turn 2 to avoid the AoE attack to everyone. Roberta is going to be Swan Wu's chaining partner with her triple cast BS frames, as well as she's going to be imbuing and using her imperil to everyone. Sid is going to be using his beast spindle to give everyone 20% beast killer buff, which is going to be mirrored by Mastermind Zon as usual, provoker and mirroring the buffs. So Swan Wu is going to use their cooldown for the triple cast. Ellie is going to use her paradigm shift. Charlotte will use her cover. Roberta is going to dual cast her Magnus ability, not Magnus, sorry, her Latent ability, and Fire Breath for the imbue. Sid will use Beast Spindle, and Zon can just defend for now. Okay, I'm gonna use one Wu to use their enhanced Chi on Zon to boost out their mods without dealing damage to the boss. Sid's now gonna land. Zon is going to mirror the imbue from Roberta, and the Beast Killer buff from Sid to everyone. Ellie can now use her cooldown with boost of her LB damage. Charlotte is going to use her 10,000 needles for the AoE Mirage, and Roberta will just defend for now. Okay, so now as usual, Zwan Wu will triple cast their Magnus with enhanced Chi. Roberta is going to triple cast her Fire Breath. Zon is going to triple cast his BS frames. Sorry, I mean Zon is just going to single cast his AR frames. So double up his AR and something that doesn't actually a survival mirror. Ellie will start use her LB, Charlotte will use her AR frames, and Sid, I don't think I gave Sid anything, so he can just do whatever. So Ellie's gonna use her LB because it's a really long LB, and chain these two and these two. So they should give me the maximum points and maximum chain. Now I'm really surprised I was able to bring Sid and Roberta for this despite being a mage fight. Okay, that's still full points. The point system still buggy. Now off to the final fight. Okay, so now we're at the final boss, which is Dark Carbuncle, a spirit that's weak to dark and physical. So I'm rigging Warrior Regan to chain his AT frames. I know a lot of Spirit Killer and a lot of attack. Cartain is going to be chaining his AR frames for the chain points and also going to be using his Imbue and Imperil. Cloud is going to be using his LB to finish. Mastermind Zon is going to be provoking and giving the buffs to everyone. Regina is going to give everyone Spirit Killer and another finisher. And Charlotte is going to be magic covering and chaining AR frames with Cartain. On his first turn, Cartain is going to dual cast his Dark Side and Terrifying Howl is the Imbue and Imperil. Warrior Regan is going to use his cooldown. Mastermind Zon is going to triple cast Reflector, the Elemental Mirror on Cartain, Critical Mirror on Regina, and Projective Mirror to everyone. Regina is just going to cast her Anti-Fairy module, and Cloud will use his cooldown, and Charlotte will use her AoE cover. Okay, so now Regan is going to triple cast Chain with Zon. Cloud's going to use his LB, Carton will use his AR frames, with Charlotte and Regina will use her finishers. So I'm going to use Power Generator, Reboot Command, any of these two with Regina Cannon. So I'm going to cast her first, then Cloud, the AR frames, and then the AT frames. And full points. Okay, so that's basically area 1, which is the easiest of all the areas because there's no non-elemental attacks you need to worry about. So just bring a lot of finishers with a magic cover tank and physical cover tank depending on which fight you're doing, and you can pretty much take your time with whichever turns you want. You can even bring Sid, but I just prefer to do this as fast as possible despite not having the turn penalty anymore. So I guess that's that, and I'll see you guys on area 2.